So obviously I only usually do the looking back videos for my, big important machinimas like Brotherhood War Aftermath, Odd Men Out, that sort of thing. But we're in mostly uncharted territory here because this is Infinite. Yeah, we're finally here. Infinite's out, and it has more or less every single problem that I knew it would, and then some. So I wanted to take the time to document my first little foray into making Machinima and Infinite. I'm not going to be making bigger stuff for like 5-6 years at least, while I continue to use Master Chief Collection and Halo 5. But you know what? It's a good time to get a little bit started, get my toes wet in there, explore around a little bit, see what works, which isn't a whole lot at the moment, see what doesn't work, which is more or less everything. That way maybe other content creators will be able to pick up a little bit as they go forward into making Machinima and Infinite before I do. Isaiah, I'm looking right at you, man. I hope this helps. So I had the idea for this short in the shower on Wednesday the 17th in the morning, and I had it completed by 2:30 in the morning on November 18th. So it obviously didn't take that long to make. I mean, the video's less than 3 minutes long, so, obviously it wasn't going to take that long to make. But, that being said, for what was supposed to be such a simple video, I unfortunately encountered a lot of issues. So the first thing was that, and this is probably just server errors that'll probably be patched out over time, was I had to restart the game 3 times in order to get my custom game settings to stick. But, once we actually got that done, that was fine. So we got in, and we were originally going to shoot this in Machinima mode, because it wouldn't have taken any time at all to do it in Machinima mode. The current problem with Machinima mode is that when you're in Machinima mode, you can still see these fucking outlines on everybody. These big red, or in this case yellow, as I had changed the accessibility color of enemies from red to yellow, outlines over everybody except the player. You go into Machinima mode, and the outlines are all over everybody, and there's no way to turn it off. So right now, Machinima mode is completely fucking useless. There's also no weapon lowering animation, but Halo 5 also didn't launch with one, and they patched that in over time. So I'm not terribly worried about that. I'm sure they'll patch it in. But this outline thing, holy crap, we need a slider or a toggle or something in order to be able to turn it off. Otherwise, we can't even use Machinima mode at all. There's also this other little bit that I noticed where there's a setting in, I think, UI to turn on enemy nameplates, which is fine, but then even when you're looking at them, a lot of times the nameplate doesn't show up, and when it does, it's really fucking small. And I know everyone's different colors, but I'm an idiot, and I was having trouble identifying my actors from each other because I couldn't see their freaking names. So hopefully that changes. It's a small thing, but I would like to see that fixed. So anyway, we couldn't shoot it in Machinima mode, so I knew we'd have to do it in theater. So we acted everything out. That didn't take very long once we actually, I think setup took probably like an hour just because I had to keep restarting shit all the time. And then once we actually did the body acting, that took, what, 5-10 minutes maximum? So we got that done, and then I excused myself and I went into theater, and that's where the biggest problem I encountered here came up. For whatever reason, the frickin' free cam was zooming around like a supersonic bullet. I was not holding down a boost or anything like that. It was just going frickin' everywhere, really fast, really haywire. I've had this happen to me once in Halo 5 during the filming of Hyborian in a scene that we did back in June. So far in Infinite, this actually seems to be the norm. Sometimes I'll go into theater in the camera or Machinima mode. This happens in Machinima mode too. Sometimes I'll go into theater or Machinima mode and the camera will be moving around at a standard pace, which is great, but most of the time when I go in, it's broken and zooming around like this. So setting up shots took way longer than it should have. I think I've got at least 2-3 minutes of footage in the B footage here of me just trying to get the damn camera into place. So a lot of my shots in this look really jank, and that's why, because I just couldn't freaking get the camera in place. And for the shot that I wanted, because it would just keep freaking moving around. So really hope they address that. If they don't address that, we're fucked. Anyway, moving on. So then, once I managed to somewhat adapt to the camera flipping around at 70-80 miles an hour, I started shooting, and immediately I noticed that there are definitely some issues with character animation. This bit right here where Blue just is walking forward but kind of goes to the side. Ugh. I didn't even have a way around that because it was in the shot. It just kept happening. I'd rewind and it'd keep happening. Oh, also rewind doesn't work sometimes. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but sometimes I have to double tap it in order to get it to go back. You have to double tap it really quickly. I don't know if that's a feature or a bug or what. But anyway, character animation. So yeah, there's that. So far, I have not seen any issues like with the jazz legs like Halo 5 has, thank God. So maybe they fixed that. But I did encounter several other new issues. So there's that one where he's walking. And then later on, there's a bit where everyone walks a little bit forward to the bottom of that ramp there, and Blue does a complete frickin' 180-degree turn as he starts walking. Good lord, that looked bad. And then there's a bunch of issues you can see. Some of them actually made it into the film because I didn't have much of a choice in the matter. But people will just be standing around and all of a sudden they'll reposition. It's God. I hope that doesn't happen in Machinima mode whenever Machinima mode gets fixed, because that's really only an issue during big dialogue scenes, I think. And I'm pretty sure this is a theater exclusive issue. So if I can shoot dialogue scenes live like I do with Halo 5 right now, that shouldn't be a problem. But man, still, what the fuck? Remember back when theater didn't have any problems like this? I genuinely wonder what the hell causes this shit. Like, is it a playback issue? What? Anyway, so that happens. Lots of character animation bugs. Hopefully that'll get patched out or updated or something like that. The next thing I noticed was that muzzle flare doesn't seem to show up when you're zoomed in. So take this shot where Red is shooting at Purple with a commando. I have the camera zoomed in, and he's firing, and there's just no fucking muzzle flash. There's an issue kind of like that in Halo 5, but it only happens with specific weapons, most notably the turret, the chain gun turret on the Warthog, or just the mounted chain gun turret. So that happens there, but this seems to be for every single fucking weapon in the game so far. So that's obviously really not good. There's only so much I can do to work around that. I use zoom a lot in my Machinimas. I think it makes the shots look better, as far as focusing and framing goes. So if I'm going to be doing that and people are going to be firing and not having any muzzle flash, that's a problem. I'm not going to go into After Effects and add muzzle flash to every single shot where someone's shooting. That's just bad. That's honestly a really big one that I'm worried about, because that issue right there may render a lot of combat scenes in Infinite completely useless. Which means, you know, and me doing what I do, I make a lot of combat scenes in my Machinimas, so that's a big fucking problem right there to me. We'll see. I feel like that's an effects issue, which I don't know what it is about these last two games. I mean, Halo 4 I get, because, you know, they were really pushing the Xbox 360, but Halo 5 and now Infinite have a lot of effects issues where the effects just seem to go away. I'm guessing it's a performance-related thing? I don't fucking know. It's really bad. I don't know what it is. I don't know why these fucking AAA designers with all these these consoles that are so much more powerful than they used to be can't achieve the same effects that, you know, Halo 3 and Reach had. Crazy. It's absolutely insane. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not a game developer, but it just seems ridiculous to me. Oh, well, and we've totally forgotten to talk about the fucking issue that I'm making the video around. The Commando's reload is fucking broken. Who on earth animated this and thought it was okay? I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, Halo CE and all the way up to Halo 3 had some pretty jank reload animations, but they didn't at least break fucking reality like this. The clip goes through the guy's stomach and back into his hand. You know, I get you have to recycle the clip part, but even though you don't, though, look at the reload on the fucking Spanker. It's got two clips out at the same time. What happened here, man? What happened with this damn gun? It's so freaking weird, and it's really, honestly, it's really annoying to me because I really like the Commando. It's so fucking cool looking. The texture and detail on it is great. The sound effects are great. It looks great when a Spartan's holding it. And then he reloads, and I don't know if I have some sort of like OCD thing, but holy crap, this bugs the shit out of me. However, I believe there's a ray of hope. In the last flight, there were 4 broken animations with weapons. There was the commando reload, and then the venting reload, the venting animation for the plasma pistol, the pulse carbine, and the Ravager were all broken too. But upon further inspection with the current build, the quote-unquote beta, we found that the Ravager and the plasma pistol and the pulse carbine's animations were all fixed, and they look perfectly fine now. So maybe they'll update the commando later. Maybe it's not fucking done yet, because it actually is a beta. Big shocker. I wonder if that's actually true. Anyway, back to things that were good. All the modeling is gorgeous. The armor looks great, even if there's barely anything to choose from right now. It's a whole other topic I won't get into. The weapons look fantastic. Everything sounds great. The maps are fucking gorgeous. I picked Behemoth here because that's just immediately what I saw in my head when I dreamt up the short while in the shower, but it is probably my favorite map. I love the old-timey Forerunner aesthetic. It kind of reminds me of... It actually really reminds me of Combat Evolved maps, which I love. And it plays really well, too, for me. But so those are all good. The game is visually beautiful, which really makes me want to use it for Machinima. So that's good. Also, fast forward works! Thank fucking God. And we get the best of both worlds. We get fast forward that works, and we get a skip forward too. I'm really happy about that. I'm not gonna lie, really happy that we have both of those. So that's awesome. Really happy about that. So yeah, a couple positives there. I mean, if they can just iron out these issues, this game is gonna be great for Machinima. Oh, and they're throwing a weapon lowering animation too. If we can get all that shit fixed, this game is gonna be great for Machinima. It's just right now, I mean, this is what it's been out for, what, 4 days at time of recording, so hopefully with time things will get patched, things will get fixed. But, you know, 343 left so much broken in Halo 5 still to today. So if we don't raise hell about this, it's probably won't get fixed, because we are a small community and we typically do get ignored. So that doesn't mean we have to settle for that, guys. We can get this shit fixed. We just have to let them know. We gotta keep letting them know. But yeah, given time, I'm hoping this game will be really great for Machinima. Anyway, that is my first foray into Infinite Machinima. Overall, not jazzed. Not jazzed about it right now. Hopefully things will get better. We'll see. But I hope you enjoyed the short. I thought it was really funny. Like, I haven't done the entire cast myself in like 10 years or something like that, so that was fun to do again. I got to experiment with some new voices this time around, so that was fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.